Throughout the past year, the budget pre-built mechanical keyboard market has been getting better and better. I've been fortunate enough to review and feature a lot of them on the channel to spread the joy of the mechanical keyboard hobby. While I love that there's so many new options to choose from, it has been a bit repetitive for me to review similar products over and over again. Most of the times, the pre-built keyboards that I review lack something special that gets me excited to review them. That is why when Akko reached out to me asking me to review this keyboard that we'll be taking a look at today, I was a bit surprised. I have loved reviewing Akko products in the past, but I think that this one might be their best product yet. What makes this keyboard different and stand out from the others? Are you curious to find out? Stay tuned. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. I'm Brian Stormy, your favorite everyday keyboard guy typing up a storm. Before I start the video, I just want to say that I really want to focus on growing the channel, but 97% of my viewers are not subscribed. So if you could like and subscribe, I would really appreciate it. And feel free to come say hi on my other socials like Instagram and TikTok. With that being said, enjoy the rest of the video. Today we'll be reviewing Akko's Ear of the Ox 3068 V2 RGB mechanical keyboard. This keyboard is a limited edition keyboard made specifically for the New Year's and will not be reproduced or restocked once sold out. I have previously reviewed the Akko 3068 silent version, but what makes this one stand out from that one? Let's start off with the theme of the keyboard. I love when mechanical keyboards have special themes to them that makes them more special than a regular normal keyboard. This keyboard is based on Chinese zodiac signs, as 2021 is the year of the ox. Coincidentally enough, my zodiac is actually the ox, so I thought it was pretty neat to have a keyboard after my year. After a terrible year last year in 2020, it is literally my year in 2021. Like, it's literally my year. Anyways, this keyboard is truly a collectible keyboard from the box to the keycaps, making it super unique compared to a lot of the other keyboards that I've reviewed on the channel so far. Another super cool feature about this keyboard is that it has hot swap. You might be thinking, well, hot swap is pretty common nowadays. What's so special about it? Well, that's because this keyboard is Akko's first ever hot swappable keyboard. Yes, Akko finally made hot swappable keyboards. If you have previously watched my Akko Neon 3061 video, my main criticism stopping that keyboard from being my top recommendation was that it wasn't hot swap. Everything else about the keyboard was high quality, but with how prevalent hot swap is in pre-built keyboards nowadays, the Neon 3061 lacked a crucial feature, especially at that price range. So I'm truly excited that the Ear of the Ox 3068 features hot swap. Besides hot swap, this keyboard also has other cool features like Bluetooth and RGB. But what really makes this keyboard more interesting than the previous Akko keyboards that I've reviewed in the past is that it has the Akko's new CS switches. There's a lot of buzz going around in the mechanical keyboard community saying that these are the new best budget switches, so I'm excited to try some of them out myself today to see whether they live up to the hype. Anyways, I'm dying to unbox this keyboard, so let's just get down to it. As I mentioned previously, this keyboard is truly a collector's item, starting from the box. Even though it's not the fanciest box in terms of packaging we have seen on the channel, since it is just a cardboard box, I still really like the design choice. Akko went the extra mile to make this keyboard feel more special compared to their previous keyboards. Inside the box, you have your dust cover, which is always really nice, your keyboard, your user manual, a red rubber USB-C cable, and a keycap puller. Surprisingly enough, Akko did not include a switch puller even though this keyboard is hot swap. This isn't a problem for someone like me who already has a switch puller, but for someone new to the hobby and buying this as their first mechanical keyboard, this might be a bit frustrating since you would have to buy an additional accessory. Taking out the keyboard, you can definitely tell that this is probably one of the most eye-catching keyboards that we have seen on the channel. The keyboard has a cool red case, but it seems to be the same plastic case as the silent version, which isn't anything too groundbreaking. However, these keycaps? Wow, Akko kinda went crazy on these keycaps. I really love how Akko just went all out for this Year of the Ox theme, and it looks super nice. I know I said this a couple times now, but this keyboard is really a collector's item. I love the details on the modifier keys, and my favorite has to be the spacebar. However, the letters in the alpha keys are a bit strange. They're unique, but I'm not sure if I'm a big fan. Let's talk about the keycap profile as well. Akko calls it the JDA profile, but it's very similar to XDA profile. We've tried something like this before with the SK61, and ideally, they should be nice because they have little grooves for your fingers to make it more comfortable for typing, but I just can't seem to get used to them. When typing they're fine, but for gaming they feel a bit weird to me. Maybe it's because I'm so used to cherry profile, but who knows. Anyways, these keycaps are diced up PBT material and have pretty good thickness as well, which is good for producing better sounds. Next, let's move on to these Akko CS switches. These have been so hyped lately, saying that they're the new best budget switches, so I gotta see if that's true. I got the Akko CS Ocean Blue switches with my keyboard, which is surprisingly a tactile switch and not a clicky switch like we're accustomed to for many blue switches. But how do they feel and sound? I was actually really surprised by these switches. When unlubed, they don't sound that great like most switches, but when lubed, these switches sound super nice. They have a nice clack to them, and I was really shocked by how nice they sounded. Feel-wise, their bump was pretty good too. It was a nice rounded bump, so while it was still tactile, it's not the same snappy type like Holy Pandas, but don't get mistaken though, they are still pretty tactile. What's crazy about these switches is its price. For only $9.99, you get 45 switches. That is ridiculously cheap for switches, and it really does compete against Gateron Yellow prices, which is around $22 for 90 switches. I might have to loop all of these switches up, cause they're that nice. But enough of me talking, let's take a listen to how this keyboard sounds. So keep in mind that these switches are unlooped, but this keyboard suffers from the same problems as the silent version. The plastic case sounds hollow, and there's some resonance within the case. And the switches could use some looping to get rid of the spring ping as well. But both of these problems you can easily mod since it's a hot swap keyboard unlike the silent version. The keycaps are also nicer than the silent version since that one had really thin keycaps that unintentionally shine through the keyboard. And as always, Akko's stabs are always pretty good, but for my keyboard this time around, it could use a bit of modding to make it sound better. So while Akko's keyboards have always been pretty solid, this one is probably their best keyboard yet due to its unique nature as a collector's item and due to its new hot swap feature. However, I do need to address that like most pre-builds, the switches are north facing, which causes interference with cherry profile keycaps. While this is not a problem with these keycaps, a lot of enthusiast keycaps are cherry profile, so if you were to replace them, it would cause an issue. Another thing that I want to bring up is that the hot swap also only supports 3-pin switches. That means that you have to clip off the legs if you want to replace the switches with 5-pin switches, which is pretty sad if you ever use those switches again in a 5-pin board. While Akko is on the right path by adding hot swap, I think that this is something that they can address for their future boards. Overall, I'm pretty impressed by how this board turned out. I really thought it was Akko's best keyboard that I've reviewed so far, and I'm excited to see what they have in the future. I want to challenge Akko to come up with more unique keyboards like this one, with more original designs rather than making clones of other popular keycaps. I would also like to see Akko and other pre-built companies focus more on typing experience as well through their keyboard designs. I would love to see unique design other than a tray mount that we have seen in every pre-built keyboard. And lastly, while Akko's plate mount stabilizers are pretty good, I know that if they were to make screw-in stabilizers instead, it would be even better. So I want to end by challenging Akko to push their limits even further to make the upgrades that mechanical keyboard enthusiasts would love to see.